Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's been a very long time. Full disclosure, I've filmed this more than once. The information, I can be more concise about it. Let's just get into it. So I've been gone a few months, which isn't abnormal, because on this channel, the status quo is disappearing for a few months out of hand, and then uploading one video that's about 30 minutes, and then leaving again. And I want to explain to you why that happens. It's this little nasty thing called burnout. So, the reason why I disappeared this time was because of burnout, and because I also had a lot of schoolwork to finish. You may not know this, but I was finishing high school. And that's not easy to do. I mean, as my mother calls it, senioritis to begin with. You're already burned out from trying to finish 12 years of schooling. It was like 13 for me, but still. Point is that I was already burned out. And then I got into YouTube because I wanted, a comfort thing to, get my mind off of that stuff. And I burned myself out constantly. And I want to tell you why I was burning myself out so much. Because I do one series on this channel so far. And how could that burn me out so much? Well, if you actually watch the cinematic scenes of the Visteria videos, the Legends of Visteria videos, you would know that I put a lot of effort into them. At least I do my best. And I'm a perfectionist, so it's a whole thing. If you watched how I filmed the first part of Visteria, Legends of Visteria video, that behind the scenes video, the first one, you would know that I spent 11 hours on the cinematic scenes for the very first part. And I ramped up the ante on the actual cinematic scenes quite a bit. I was experimenting because I told you guys the last video I did that I would be coming back after Thanksgiving break with the new Visteria part. Part 2 of part 4, I believe, which the whole part thing is just confusing, but Roman numerals are different than numbers, but well, different than Arabic numerals. I don't know. I don't remember which one's which. I know which one's which. I just don't remember the name of the Arabic numerals. That's not important, okay? But I didn't come back, and the reason why is because I got into a new editing style, and I'll show you on the screen what I'm talking about. It's a very not delicate, but detailed process that takes about an hour per frame. And now I want to tell you something. I averaged 60 frames per part. Yeah, that's too much time spent in one part. And that would be its own issue if it wasn't for the fact that the process is actually quite tedious to make the frames look like this, because I use fill tool, the burn and dodge tool, and I do it at varying degrees, varying colors, and it was only like halfway through that I was like, I should do set colors and then copy down what settings I use for each one. It still varies because each photo has different lighting, but it's a whole thing. And I spent so much time perfecting the process, and even then I couldn't perfect it. And I was thinking about how people actually do this in real life with animation. And I'm so sorry about the dogs, but people who do it in real life with animation, the thing is, what they do is that they have a team of people to do it for them, and it still takes some months to do it. And that's... If I pushed myself to the brink constantly, I would only, I did the math, it would take me 3 months to do each part. Which I was disappointed with, but I was okay with, because I was planning to get very storytelling. That's a terrible word. Would you believe I'm a writer? I was about to amp up the ante on the storyline and get really into it to a point that it'll be teetering on some, touchy grounds, and I'll get into that in a second. I just burned myself out so easily, and I kept, pulling away because it stressed me out to the brink that I could barely sleep properly, didn't do my schoolwork, and then I'd come back when I was feeling better, and then I'd do it all over again. Oh my god. I don't know how to do things at a medium level. I will learn, but it's gonna take time. Now there's other things I want to discuss, and I want to make this video as short as possible, so I wrote down a list and I'm going by the number. So let me get to the next thing. Okay, so the height of my burnout was a channel thing more than it was a Wisteria thing. At one point I decided I'm going to have 5 channels, and I knew I didn't want that many channels. I knew it would be too much work, and the reason why I'm saying 5 is because I have an editing channel. Then, in this version of the story, I would have 4 gaming channels. 1 for Roblox, 1 for Minecraft, because I do Minecraft videos, and 1 for Sims, and don't forget the storytelling one. Oh my god. It was so much work the way I pictured it, but Roblox and Minecraft are such big games that I was like, I have to separate these, don't I? If I use like flagship channels, I don't even know if that's the right word, but if I use channels and I gave them an identity that surrounded one game alone, I would have to separate another big name game from that channel because it just wouldn't work. I mean, it would work. You just have to redevelop a fan base and it'd be a whole thing. But I decided that I wanted 5 channels at one point because of the way I did the math, that's how it ended up. This did not last very long, I assure you. This was the height of my burnout because I realized how much work that was going to be if I was spending 60 hours. And that's not counting the editing hours of the video itself. And then adding the cinematic frames to the video and then editing those in the video editor. Like, If I was going to say, let's add 20 hours to that. 80 hours per Wisteria video. And that was one channel. And that's one story on that one channel. And now I had a bunch of other stories lined up. Oh my god. There would be no time to do any schoolwork. Probably have no free time. And I wouldn't be able to actually write because, you know, I write books. And I wouldn't have time to actually do that. It was insanity. It was workaholicism. It was aspiring to achieve something that is not humanly possible for one person to achieve. And it was a whole thing. And then at that point, I ran into the roadblock with the love cinematic scenes, and I realized how much work I was actually putting into them, how long they would take. And it made me really reevaluate things and cinematic scenes in general, and how much work they were going to be. Now this timeline's kind of iffed up a bit because, you know, it's happened months ago. I'm kind of recalling the events, but at this point, I was rethinking the cinematic scenes thing. And more than that, I was rethinking the writing part of them because I not only spent time editing them, I actually had to write the script for them. And I do have a history of writing scripts. Not very detailed ones. Simplistic scripts that don't actually give stage directions. But I started adding those in my own way. And it was so much work, and it was like being handicapped for someone who writes books, because I do so much more detail with much better language that it flows right out of you, but scripts don't do that with me. They are like, oh my god, it's like driving over a landfill. It's made of mud. It doesn't work. It's a trek. That's what it is. So at that point, I had to lower my standards to the cinematic scenes, which I'm a perfectionist, which wasn't easy, but I agreed to do it. I slowly lowered my standards from really high ones to slightly lower ones. And eventually it came to a point where I was thinking about the writing of all of it and how cinematic scenes, the stress of having to do them all, was really taking away from my enjoyment of the games. And the video editing process, and the YouTube process, because it was so much stress, so much work, all wrapped up in this. And that's not what I want YouTube to be about for me. I don't want it to be something where I constantly burn myself out with it. And I was also, like, I worried about the storylines because I'm a writer, and when I write, I write. And the storylines for these series were very in-depth. To the point cinematic scenes would have been so annoying to do. But more than that, they were entwining with the loosely existing storylines of the games, which would not have been an issue if I have prior permission. But I didn't realize what I was really doing until I was doing it. Like, not like doing the videos, but like kind of writing the stuff out first. And then it occurred to me, oh my god, is this copyright infringement? Am I going to get in trouble for this? Because I was doing it with Wisteria, and I was getting really into the storyline. and like really changing a lot of the things, or not changing them, but adding history to them and stuff. And I realized this wasn't their storyline. This was my storyline for like a completely different story. I turned it into a book series. It's completely different to Mysteria, but well, a book series idea. But at that point, I was just so worried about it, and I was so burned out and tired of the cinematic scenes that I was willing to completely phone it in on them by not doing them at all. Just backtrack fully. No more storyline-driven cinematic scenes ever again. They're too much work. They're too much stress. I keep almost teetering on the edge of copyright infringement, and I don't feel like getting in trouble for that, so I backtrack completely. More than that, I wanted to spend all my writing efforts on my stories that were book stories, because they're my passion, and I was wasting all of my effort and my energy on something that I wasn't truly passionate about. Like, I'm passionate about Mysteria, don't get me wrong. I'm not passionate about screenplays. They're not my cup of tea, personally. Then I came around to this bend in the road where I realized that having separate Minecraft and Roblox channels was going to be more stress than it was worth. So I backtracked from that too, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to merge them. We're going to keep one channel for those games. The primary reason for this, well, two primary reasons, was one, I don't have that much Minecraft content compared to Roblox content. Two, it makes no sense to separate them, because then I'd have to manage 2 gaming channels on top of the other gaming channels I already have. So, no, thank you. And then I decided that, well, I realized that if I was going to combine the Roblox and the Minecraft channel, it made 0 sense to have a storytelling channel, especially when I pretty much decided at that point that I wasn't going to do full-blown stories for my games, at least not to that degree. There was a separate channel for storytelling. It doesn't make sense. So, this is my way of telling you guys that this channel's over. It's canceled. Not fully, but the storytelling aspect that I was going for, we're not doing that. It's too much work, and I want to put storytelling into my books rather than YouTube videos, because quite frankly, I'm a little elitist on this, unintentionally. And also, books, you can put so much more into it than scripts, and it's just, scripts are meant to have less information, so actors and directors or whatever can pick up the slack and come up with creative things as they want to in the moment, and what things feel right when they're filming it. But I'm a book writer, I'm not a scriptist, so yeah, that's a no thanks for me. So no storytelling channel anymore, which would mean that I would combine all of my channels except for my editing and my cinema channel, which is good for me because it's only 3 channels. That's easily manageable, especially since I won't be uploading on the editing channel on a regular basis. The downside of the situation, however, is that I already created brands for these channels, logos, profile pictures, and banners. I didn't do that for the Witcherful channel, which would have been the Minecraft channel. But what I did is I decided to combine all these 3 channels into one banner. And I actually created it already. Pretty much threw it together. There's no editing video. There's an editing video for the Libra logo, banner, profile picture, I think. And there's also one for the old Libra and Tiara ones as well that I have not uploaded, and it lasted all of 10 minutes. Not the video, me using it is what I meant. But I created a blended version of those banners, logos, and profile pictures that I think looks pretty good because I threw it together in like an hour, 30 minutes an hour, I don't know. And I just want to say before I continue off to the next point to make, my burnout and it causing a disinterest in YouTube would be a lot worse if it wasn't for you guys, because you're very supportive, at least the ones... I know you're supportive in your own ways, because you're still subscribed to someone who uploads like every few months, so that says a lot. You're either not active on YouTube, or you actually want to see my content, and that warms my heart, you know? One person in particular, Nick, he made me want to make this video, which I have done multiple times now, because of because he asked where I was and stuff like that, in his own way. Well, their own way. I don't know if Nick's a guy, might be a woman. I mean, Nick is a general neutral name at this point, so it could be Nicolette. Who knows? I don't know. They just they inspired me and made me want to make this video. So I just want to say thank you to people like that who are supportive of this channel and subscribers on this channel. I don't like calling you guys fans because I have this whole thing about things like I don't like calling my pets pets. I like calling them companions because it's like pets and fans sounds like an object term. Your subscribers, your supporters, and I really appreciate your support. And you know, even if it's minor, because it keeps me going. It makes me want to do YouTube. Because honestly, the whole big process of YouTube is that I don't like playing video games on my own. I only like doing it when there's an audience or I'm doing it with someone else. And even then, I really just love filming. I love talking and you let me talk. So I really appreciate you guys. The second to last point is that what channel am I keeping? Because Libra and TR channel already exists and so does this channel. I did tell Nick that I was going to only keep the Libra and TR channel and just leave these videos up on this channel, but I've actually decided the opposite. Well, I'm keeping the videos, but I'm not using the Libra and TR channel anymore because let's just say the subscriber number isn't significantly different, but it's different. And this channel's been around longer, and I have a big thing about sentimentality. So I'm gonna keep this channel. I'm gonna rebrand the channel to Libra and TR and just leave that one in the dust. So you guys don't have to subscribe to a different channel. The videos are just gonna start uploading on this channel. No problemo. You don't have to even watch this update, but if you want to know what's going on, by all means. I say that when we're pretty much almost done with the video. But yeah, this channel is going to be the main channel. The only channel, aside from my Sims and editing channel. I just wanted to clarify that so that when you see the channel change and whatnot, you know we're about to upload videos and stuff like that. The last bit of information is, well, quite frankly, it's just about, well, there's a lot more to say. There's not a lot more to say, but there's some stuff to say. And I'm not going to say it in this video because this video is long enough. I'm tired of doing 30-minute update videos, okay? I talk, but I should talk that much. I'm separating these videos out because the next video is going to be a channel introduction, and it's going to explain some things, very minor things, about the content itself. And you can look out for that if you want to know what's going to happen with the channel, well, what else is going to happen with the channel, how long videos are going to be going up for at a certain rate and stuff like that, and what I hope to achieve in respectable manners that are probably not movie quality videos. But that video is going to cover all that stuff and, you know, some background info you might not have known about me and Tiara. I'm not doing a name reveal. I'm not doing a name reveal, just know that. That video is going to cover that. This video is pretty much done. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. And I hope it shined a light on, you know, what I've been going through. How much stress I've been under that's solely self-inflicted. And how I need to learn from my own mistakes and my own trial and error. You know, that's how y'all learn. And I'm open to learning. And I'm open to changing. Gradually. So I hope you guys enjoy this journey while we go on it together. And, you know, let's get into it. The content, that is. The next video will probably tell you when videos will start going up. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Anyways. Hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Sorry about the loud clap. I'll see y'all next time. Well, actually, me and Libra, me and Tiara, we'll see ya next time. Potentially. Until then, bye-bye.